The White House speechwriting team spending this weekend putting the finishing touches on President Trump's first State of the Union address. He received high marks for his speech this week in Davos, explaining that America first doesn't mean America alone, he said. For more on the president's message coming up, talk radio host Mark Davis, 6:60 a.m. on your dial in the Big D. And if you like what he has to say, you can check him out on the internet worldwide. Mark, good to see you. We are a year past the inauguration. The inauguration speech was American carnage. Then you've got Davos, America is not America first, isn't America alone. What does the State of the Union look like?
I think it will contain elements of both because they are both central to the Trump personality, and they are not mutually exclusive. When the president 1 year ago in his inauguration talked about the dire circumstances that we all face in tackling a lot of very serious problems at home and around the world, he was right. Just the other day in Davos, when he reached out to the world and said, look, just because we are America first doesn't mean we're not interested in dealing with you in a congenial way. That's accurate, too. Both are elements of the Trump personality, and both are elements of a proper path forward.
We've seen the president often on this theme of promises made, promises kept. Tax cut, promise made, promise kept. Repeal and replace Obamacare, promise made, promise not kept. Building the wall, promise made, promise not kept. How much leeway does his base give him to make this speech in front of Congress and have one more push before the midterms?
Well, let's sit tight on the wall. I mean, this is a promise they're trying very hard to keep, and it's an opportunity to keep that promise, and it's an opportunity to keep an obligation to the so-called DACA kids, and it's an opportunity to keep the promise to the base about getting rid of chain migration and keep the promise about getting rid of that ridiculous diversity lottery. In the State of the Union on Tuesday night, I think he will say, in my open hands, here it is, a DACA solution, a wall solution, chain migration solution, things my base wants, things Democrats want. There is no reason not to take this deal.
We've heard consistently from Democrats that they might be willing to trade DACA for the wall. There is no evidence that they are willing to trade DACA and chain migration and the wall and the visa lottery. It seems like a non-starter. Why make that case?
Because if it is a non-starter, perfect question, here's what I hope is a good answer. If it is a non-starter, it shows how unserious they really are about border security. Schumer wouldn't even stay with the wall promise. $25 billion, hey, how about $10 billion? They're not serious about the wall. They're not serious about chain migration. They're not serious about diversity lottery because they're not serious about border security at all. It interrupts a future flow of reliable Democrat voters. So in a way, keep in mind, it is Donald Trump. And I think the other day when he upset even some in his base by seeming a little too accommodating about the DACA kids, it was designed to make the left react negatively so that on Tuesday night he can say, look, I gave them more than my base wanted to give, and they still wouldn't take it. That's how unserious the left is.
We were watching some video there from the government shutdown debate in terms of when there was some DACA kids and some protesters that were brought there by the Democrats. I want to get your final thought on this. The president's going to talk a lot about the economy. He talked a lot about the economy in Davos. Latest Fox News poll. Has the Trump administration made the economy better or worse? Better 40%, worse 22%. 34% say the same. This is in the face of hundreds of companies offering huge bonuses, billions, if not trillions of dollars being brought back to the United States, record low unemployment, and a record high stock market. Yet only 34% say it's the same and 22% say it's worse. You add that up, that's 56% of Americans who say this president hasn't done much for the economy. What does he have to do differently on Tuesday night to sell Donald Trump as the economic engine of America?
I don't think there's anything magical that he can say that'll make millions of Americans go, oh, how wrong I've been. He is the best thing for the economy since Reagan. But that will become evident the more success we have. In polling, I think we've all learned in the last couple of years there's a kind of a phenomenon, a social desirability bias, it's often called, where people just don't want to tell pollsters that they think Trump is awesome. And there are a lot of people who recognize they saw the raise that they either just got or they're about to get in their paychecks, and they know why that raise is there. I'm not suggesting it's a guarantee guaranteed landslide for him in 2020, but a lot of those people hesitating to tell a pollster that he is the reason why. They know full well in the secret of the ballot box they'll reward him, unless they're just all-out haters. That's the 20-some% who will never admit it.
And you make a good point that there may be some holdouts here who are skeptical or saying, okay, maybe I've gotten a raise, maybe my 401k is up, but I'm going to see for the next 6 or 8 or 12 months if that holds before I give the president any credit.
It takes time. It took time with Reagan. And I mean, Reagan didn't make a lot of converts in his first year. It took a little time.
Yeah, that is an excellent point in history, especially when everything else we want now instantly on Twitter. Mark, great to have you as always. We'll look for your opinions coming up. Good to see you.